Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Queens. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nadrat. This past weeks, I went to an event which is PPG, which is the acronym for Positive Polygyny Group. This group is basically a group where different kinds of women come together to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this event happened some weeks back, and I went, and I'm here to share with you what I learned from the event. Let's get started. Hi besties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Nadra Adebayo and we are back at it again. Guys, follow me on Instagram at Nadra underscore Ade and TikTok Nadra Adebayo. If this is your first time of tuning to my channel, thank you so very much. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, drop a comment. Let's get started. So, like I said, different kinds of women from different perspectives of life come together to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So, it's basically the subsequent queens, like they call themselves, which are the second wife associations, and the mono queens, which are the first wife association, coming together to share mindsets, rub minds together, and learn some things. So, what is polygyny? We know what the act of polygyny is. So, this is us trying to learn how to handle polygyny in a positive way. This is us coming to learn from the experienced one how they handle the polygyny. The theme of the event was how to water your green meadow. I don't know if I pronounced that right. How to water your green meadow. A green meadow is like a green garden. So, you have to water it, keep on watching it. So that's how your flowers, your garden look beautiful and fresh and all of that. So our marriage is like that. The way you water your marriage, the way you handle your marriage, the way you do things in your marriage is how your marriage is gonna work. If you treat your marriage right and you do things that's supposed to be done, you're going to have a happy home and all of that. So, yeah, let's water our lawn and let's be happy. Now, my things that I learned from the event was that if your husband decides to have a second wife, it doesn't mean that you're not a good wife anymore or he doesn't love you anymore. It is just that whatever Mighty Allah has decreed is going to happen. So, like we all know, as a Muslim, Almighty Allah is the one that has control all of our lives. If a man has been destined to die polygamous, he's definitely going to die polygamous. And if a man has been destined to die as a man with a single woman, even if he moves from here to all over the world, nobody is going to say yes to his proposal. Yes, and that's not because you're one superwoman or you are good with what you do, you take care of the house and all of those things. It's just that this is what Almighty Allah has decreed. And if a man has been destined to have a second wife, third wife, or fourth wife, even if you stand in his front like this to oppose, it's still going to, yeah, the second wife, the third wife thing is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about that. That is because Almighty Allah is the one in charge of his destiny and our lives. Another thing I learned from the event was that you should learn to mind your business. Learning to mind one's business is the best remedy and is the best gift you can give to yourself in this life. It's not even all about your house, your marriage, or anything. Even you as a person, focus on yourself and stop minding other people's business. Focus on yourself, focus on your mindset. Those are the things you should work on as a wife. Another thing I learned from the event was that as a first wife, you should learn to mind your business, and as also a second wife, you should learn to mind your business. One of the things I learned from the event was that we should learn and try to create moments. Yes, it is really, really very important for you to create moments in your relationship. Life is not guaranteed. So the moment what you have now, you should try to create the moment because that is what you keep on lingering on in the future. And those are the moments you create now are what you're going to be referring to in the future. Now, let's say you as a mono wife, you've gone to different vacation with your husband, you've enjoyed life with him, you've done this, you've done that, you've done so many things, you've created a lot of memories with him. So now he has a second wife. What are they doing that you've not done? That's what you're going to be using to console yourself. That okay, What are they doing that I have not done with this guy? Are you trying to to impress him on Father's Day and take him out or treat him? You've done that. Are you trying to be the the good wife, his family? You're also doing that. You've also done that once. So create moments. I mean, create, but little things matters in marriage to keep a home. Some things that you do not even know that are going to sustain your marriage are the things that are it's going to be like, wow, I love my wife for doing this. Impress him, right? Take care of yourself. So create moments in your relationship so when the next person comes in, you won't be feeling bad like, oh, when I had the time, I should have done this. And another thing I also learned was that if your man decides to have a second wife, doesn't mean you're a bad wife or doesn't mean you're not good enough. Doesn't mean he doesn't love you anymore. It is just that this and that is what has been ordained, has been destined to happen. And that thing I learned from the event was that you should focus on your personal growth. Focus on your personal growth, physical growth, mental growth, and spiritual growth. These growths are really, really important and very, very crucial. You need to work on yourself. To have a peace of mind, you need to work on yourself. You need to work on the things that make you happy. Know and try to figure out things that make you happy and work more on it. Those are very, very important. When you have a fixed mindset, nothing anybody's going to do that's going to bother you. Nothing. Because you've already grown to some extent that you're only worried about you not being the best you can be in being a Muslimah, you not being the best of the wife and the mother and everything. So work on your mindset, your growth, and your physical growth and mental growth. Speaking of mindset, some subsequent queens will have the intention of, oh, I'm coming to come and frustrate that woman, to come and make her jealous or stuff like that. Fix your mindset. You do not need that. So do not be like, okay, I'm going to frustrate that woman, I'm going to make her sad, I'm going to do that. Do not do that. Work on your mindset. Work on your growth. Mind your business. So yeah. And then speaking of mindset again, to the mono wives, do not have the mindset of, oh, when she comes, she's going to be my slave, she'll wash my clothes, cook, clean, do this, do that. No, no, queen, no, you do not have to do that. Yeah. So one of the things they taught us at the event was we do not have to have that kind of mindset as a mono wife. What we can do is try to focus on ourselves, our growth, change our mindset. Someone that you even want to make her a slave is already a career woman or she's already a business woman, she's flourishing in her business, she's having a name, a brand to call her own. And then all you want to think of is frustrating one person or making someone a slave. No, do not do that. Yeah. Have a positive mindset. Just focus on yourself, be happy, focus on your growth, learn, unlearn, relearn. Do a lot of things that are going to make you happy. So during the event, we have different kind of people came to lectures. We have the mono quiz that came to lectures. I have the subsequent quiz that came to lectures. And we have imams and then some afars that came to lectures. So that takes me to one scenario that I'm going to tell you about now. So one of the lecturers that came, he said when we wanted to have a second wife, he told his wife that, okay, I think I want to have a second wife. And the woman said to him that as a woman, I don't want it. But as a Muslimah, there's nothing I can do. So that is faith. That is a positive mindset. You know, you have that, you've already grown and watered your mindset that anytime this thing is going to happen, Almighty Allah has decreed it. That's why it's happening. So you cannot say, okay, it's not going to happen. Who are you to say it's not going to happen? So let's work on our mindset and fix our mindset and have a positive mindset to these things and then just see how you're going to grow from there. Also, one of the lecturers that came was a woman as well. She's a subsequent, she's a second wife, and then she told us that we used to ask her like, okay, Are you really sure you are a second wife? Are you really sure? Because she's glowing and she's robust and she's happy. And then she asked, she said that she's talking about, okay, sorry, oh, how am I supposed to look? That's because we all have this mentality like, okay, first, second wife are supposed to, maybe be a slave to their first wife, or um always ready to compete, always ready to frustrate the other person, and what is not good. Yeah, something like that should not be what we're thinking of in 2023, when we can invest our time and our money and our body in so many other things out there. So she was like, okay, me, oh, I'm not like those wives you think. Me, I'm just minding my business, and I'm glowing, I'm watering my lawn, I'm doing what's supposed to be done, and we are happy. Everybody is happy in their own, so everybody's happy. So basically, so that's it. So that takes me to these questions that I'll be answering you. I'll be answering to you. So at the event we're given these questions to answer and to reflect on, and then focus on where we are lacking behind and work towards it. So the questions are many, yeah, but I will be listing out few that, because I don't want this video to be long. So let's get started. The first one is, what excites you? So what excites you? What gives you that fulfillment feeling? What excites you? You need to be able to identify that, and then if you know what excites you, then you work on it, and then you'll be happy in your marriage. The next thing is, how do you show people you love them or you value them? It's really, really important to show people that you care, because you don't know what the other person is going through, or what you are going through, they don't know as well. So how do you show people? Because there's a saying that you treat people how you want to be treated, right? Show people that you value them, treat them with care and with love, and they will reciprocate. The next one here is, what shares you on? So that one is also very important. As an individual, you need to know what shares you on. Is it your peace of mind? Like me now, food. You know what? Just buy me food. You know what? Just buy me food. I'm happy. But some people, different kinds of things shares them on. So you really need to know what that is, and you work towards it. So, and the next one here is, what are your fears? It's really, really important to identify your fears. When you're able to identify your fears, you are able to face it. And when you're able to face it, you're able to overcome them or overcome it. So it's really, really important for us to, identify what our fears are. Is it in marriage, or is it in our business, or anything? You really need to identify it and work towards it. And the next question here is, what is your biggest liability? Yeah, and that one is really, really crucial and important as well. You really need to know what your liabilities are, what your priorities are. So you really need to work on that as well. So the next question here is, who do you talk to when you need clarity? Which is very important. We need to know who we are talking to, because you want to take advice from them. Know the kind of person you're talking to. Know what they can do and what they cannot do, because you are taking advice for them, which is very, very important. Very important. So you really need to know the kind of person you're taking advice from, or you need clarity about some things. Know your sources. So the next one here is, how and where are you learning your religious belief? Is also very important, because as a Muslim, the first thing we need to know and learn is our beliefs, our religious beliefs. Who are you learning from? Is really, really important. Know your sources. Know your sources right. You need to get your sources right, because your source is what is going to determine how you're going to come out in your religion aspect. So the next one here is, what time in your life have you found most challenging, and why? We've all been there. We've all been there, some one way or the other, or some are still there. So what time do you find most challenging in your life, and why do you find it most challenging? You need to know, and you need to be able to avoid it, so you don't come back to that situation again. So another one here is, there are conditions of what if and what is. So I want to pick the question down, because it's actually long. So how do you identify what if and then you acknowledge what is? What if, like, you're like, okay, what if I was the one in the mansion? What if I was the one with those with those kids? What if I was the one happy in the marriage? So the question is, how do you acknowledge what is? What is what you have, what makes you happy. So you now think, okay, what it is that I have that they don't have. You know, think about that. How do you? Because when you identify what you have, yeah, that is how you keep going. Because when you keep looking at what others have, it could cause depression, or some things. You may not be happy in your marriage, and you start using their marriage to judge your own, and then there's conflicts and stuff in your home. So you really need to work towards identifying and acknowledging what is about your marriage that is special and makes it different from those you're looking at. So, which is really very important. This video is becoming long, so I'm just going to cut it short. And the last question here I'll be asking is, when do you feel most vulnerable in your relationship? Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. So every relationship has its own ups and downs. So when do you feel most vulnerable in your relationship? Are you able to identify it? So how were you able to overcome it, and how you're still there? How are you able to overcome it? You just have to know people you talk to, people that are going to give you advice, and know your right sources. Which takes me to the last question: is what have you learned today? So we were being asked what we've learned in the event, and then I would say that I have learned to fix my mindset. I have learned to have another view of polygyny, and I've learned to accept whatever comes my way, because I am not in control of what comes my way or what happens to me. Or my teller is the one in charge of what happens in my marriage and every other thing. So I have learned to accept what is rather than what if. And I have learned to know what cheers me on, what excites me, and what makes me happy. Yeah. And that takes me to the last segment, which is guys. Okay, let me give you an instance here. In this life, my teller is the one in charge. If a man has been destined to die a polygamous, there's nothing you can do. And if a man has been destined to die single woman, there's nothing you can do. You're not in charge of that. So stop going up and down. Qualify KG, you will not marry a second wife, you will not marry a second. What if you die? What if you die? And if you die now, what you don't want to happen is what's going to happen, because the world goes on. The man is definitely and eventually going to marry that second wife. Yeah. So focus on yourself. Do not be bothered what comes your way. Almighty Allah is the one in charge. We just have to keep on praying that whatever Almighty Allah is going to test us with is what we can take. So let's not bother ourselves about LKG. Almighty Allah is the one in charge of it. However, we should fix our mindset, and we should have a positive mindset that even if it happens, it's from Almighty Allah. And if this person comes, I'm not into any competition with this person, or I'm not going to competition with this person. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm going to be happy in my marriage and make my marriage work. Because let me give you an instance now. If 1 million people die in this world today, if you go out there, the world is still going, the world is still moving. It's not going to reflect as other people die. Exactly. So, which is why it's not even going to affect the world that you die because of a man, or because you don't want some things to happen and all of that. So, work on yourself, fix your mindset, fix your growth, be happy, and whatever comes your way, whatever Almighty Allah has decreed is what is going to happen. Alright, guys, if you've been enjoying my pep talk since morning, kindly follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, Naja Adebayo. And guys, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel below there. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, drop a comment, and I promise to bring your way another event that I could. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Queens. Bye.